What's going on? It's your boy God by 2009. I got another one for y'all. Let me get everything set up. If y'all got any questions y'all want to ask me about anything off the scene, y'all let me know that behind the scene. But before y'all come in, I appreciate all the love. I thank y'all so much for all the love y'all been giving me. I've been writing a whole lot. So I got something good for y'all today. Video is going to be about the uniquely unorthodox. And this is a phase that the Scorpio usually hit when we get into the Phoenix stage. You know, I think all Scorpios, even the ones that are still trying to get to their high vibration or whatever, to their highest level or whatever, all of us are unique. Everybody's unique, but I think it takes a longer for a Scorpio to become in tune with it, so to say, because we're very, very different, and we go through so many different experiences than the average individual. It takes us time to get to understand all this energy that we have, all this unique thought process. We think different. We do everything different. We dress different. We everything about us is unorthodox, and a lot of times it takes us a lot of years to become comfortable with that. But to and I think it takes a lot of people a lot of time. But I think when Scorpio, it takes us a little bit longer because it's so different and it's so extremely hard to find our focus and find our comfortable, our comfort zone, so to say. So this video is going to be about, trying to understand, the mindset of where your Scorpio is, try to understand, the different stages of us, try to understand, just giving you a whole different perspective about us and understand us. So I thought this video would be really different, and I really appreciate all the love. I see y'all coming in here, so thank you for the love, and please make sure you like the video as you enter the chat. Thank you so much. And I seen your message, Shannon. Just email me behind the scenes. One thing about them Gemini, one thing about y'all Geminis, y'all very unorthodox. Y'all have an unorthodox way of communication. They say y'all rule communication and being socializing, but I think to in a Scorpio eyes it's very unorthodox because it's very baffling how y'all do stuff at times and very unexpected. I think even for a Scorpio, even though we could study you, and I think that's why a lot of times a Scorpio might just have curiosity about a particular Gemini or whatever, but y'all have a very unorthodox way of doing stuff and without any warning at times. Sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing. Let me see. We can be like that. Scorpio man can be like that also at times, but at the same time, we do it in a more gradual way. Y'all more like I see with a Gemini, it's gonna be more sporadic, and you won't even see it coming. He's like, what? Especially if y'all in some type of crazy mood, a Gemini, You know, you be having a Gemini or whatever, you're in a relationship with them, and everything's good. Y'all joking and having a good day one day, and you know, giving each other half fives with your partner or whatever. Then the next day, they say some the most disrespectful, some of the most disrespectful stuff you ever heard in your life. With the and you be like, what the hell? You be like, what's going on here? That's gonna be we see stuff coming. We understand that people have extreme mood swings, but we not the it's not the same way with us. It's like you'll see it coming. It's more, but a lot of people will say, "Oh, Scorpio, they'll sneak up on you, or they'll be sneaky, or whatever." But you can, if you have a certain eyesight for us, and you have a certain understanding of us, and a more in depth perception where you took time to understand us, you'll realize that it's not really we're not trying to be sneaky or anything. We just very different. We're just very we have a different way of doing things. What's good? What's going on, Troy? Good morning, Charlie Brown. Hey, Dad Angelo. Hey, Shanta. Hey, Mysterious Voice. Hey, Sharvy Young. Cause I know a lot of people be so baffled by the times I do these videos, and a lot of them are very unorthodox. But I understand that you know my beautiful supporters gonna watch it when y'all get a chance. But I like to do stuff at a certain time, so I appreciate all the love. Nonetheless, thank you so much for everybody coming in. I just had to get everything set up. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, Ish. And make sure you show the love or whatever. I'm gonna make sure I put my links and everything, but I want to make sure I get everything straight first. This is gonna be about understanding the particular level of the Phoenix Scorpio, but at the same time, it'll give you a more deeper perception of the Scorpio as a whole. Because one thing about us is that we have a very different way of doing things, of saying things, of wording things, of communication, of doing different things, and a lot of people don't understand us. A lot of times it gets us into a lot of situations, whether it's good or whether it's bad, because we are different. We have a very different way of doing things. We're very unorthodox. We're very different. A lot of people could say it's weird. A lot of people could call us strange. A lot of people say this about us. And a lot of times it gets us put on the outskirts unnecessarily. A lot of times it gets us discriminated against, whether it's somebody stereotyping us or trying to guess us or trying to just put random stuff about us, that really doesn't have any truth to it, doesn't really have any solid ground to it of facts. So you got to understand, when you talking about us, you got to understand that yes, we do have a very different way of approaching situations at times. Because one minute you could say, "Oh, he's very introverted and he's very quiet." Then you can ask a certain question or say a certain thing, and you can get the most out of us, because you got to understand that we are very in tune. And one thing about us is we understand that everybody wants to communicate and have a consistent communication with us, but we understand at the same time the value of communication. We understand the value of time. That's why you would get a weird flow of communication with a Scorpio at time, because we understand there is a value in the communication, is a value in your words, it's a value in your time that you use, it's a value in everything that you say and everything that you do in this life. That's why we have such a more in-depth perception. At certain times we got a certain patience when it comes to communication or whatever, because we look at stuff in a whole different way. That's why a lot of times you might not hear from them as much, but when you do hear from the Scorpio, you do appreciate it, and you do understand that we're not a man of many words. But when you do get words out of us, it's going to have a meaning to it. It's going to have a destination to it. It's not going to be anything that's just going to be sporadic, something that's just going to be doing it just to be silly, saying it just to be doing something. We're not those type of individuals. Everything with us got to mean something. Everything that we say or do has to have a certain uh, it has to have a it just like I said, just a meaning. It just have to have just simple as that. It has to have a meaning. It has to have it has to be profound. It don't have to be. We don't try to be over the top. I try to top anybody in particular. We are mostly our biggest competitors. We always competing against ourselves. You know, a lot of Scorpios, you might see other Scorpio pages, especially my friend Scorpio Sun Moon and my this other guy. I got to get his name too, but they'll tell you the same thing. That one thing about us is that we're always tuning. We always sharpening our sword, so to say. And when I mean by sharpening our sword, we're always trying to perfect ourselves. We're always trying to top ourselves. We're always trying to beat ourselves at our own game. We're always trying to hit that next step. We're always trying to see get the best out of ourselves. We always really critiquing ourselves, even if at times we're over critiquing ourselves. But we have a way of doing things, and a lot of times people don't understand us because we have our own way. And it's not nothing that we try to do. It's not because, oh, I'm a Scorpio. I know I'm a Scorpio. My birthday is Scorpio, so I'm gonna just be strange. I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be different. It's not anything. It's not like that. It's not anything like that at all. It's like we are born this way. We like even as a child, I was very unique. I was already reading cultural books about about all types of world history, and I was doing all types of in-depth um, you know um, studies on agriculture and all types of stuff on financial, just stuff that didn't really would make sense to it for a child to read. I always been different to the point where it was hard for me to fit in amongst the children my age. I try to find a common ground, a common understand it amongst my own peers because I was so different. A lot of Scorpios like that. A lot of them we can either be very blunt even at a young age to a point of being sort of aggressive, or either that Scorpio us as children we can be very introverted and very quiet and very, but at the same time when we do open our mouth, even if a Scorpio child can be quiet, we still ask those questions that can make people's mouths drop. We can still say stuff that can shock people at an early age. We can still make a room silent, and by saying two words at a young age because we know the power of words. We know the power of making a point. We know the power uh, of living, period, because we understand that everything can have a profound impact. Anything can have a devastating impact. So we understand that everything has a meaning, and we want everything that make a meaning. And we understand that even if we have are looked at one way for 1 second, doesn't mean at the end of the day that we can't make a profound impact. We can run into one person and change stuff forever. We understand what things mean. That's why at certain times you might not see the Scorpio making himself present at all times, because we understand that if a person gets to the point where they always absorbing your energy, or get to the point where they're getting too used to your energy, and they don't feel a certain sense of space or whatever, our distance, then they start becoming unappreciative of your presence. They'll start becoming um, complacent. So we understand that. But at the same time, when we start to evolve and when we start to change, we start to become more extroverted. And it's all, and the thing is, we're not the type of introverted that you would be like, oh, they don't never talk, or they extremely shy and don't want to talk. No, it's the point of being comfortable um, with our own gifts, being comfortable in our own uniqueness, being comfortable being that strange. It's just like a guy being a nerd in the class, and having big glasses and wearing tight pants, wearing khakis every day, wearing his pen protector, whatever they call those things. What I'm saying, with the whole inhaler and everything. He don't fit in. He's nerdy or whatever. But then he might go to the point where he realizes that he start realizing his scholastics is going to put him ahead of the pack. His intelligence and his ingenious is going to put him ahead of the masses of this world. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when he's going through that caterpillar stage, as I tell y'all, it's not comfortable. It's not understandable. It's not relatable. You know what I'm saying? It's not. He doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel during his youth. You know, he might be at the stage like, well, I wish I could be like my bigger cousin, or I wish I can be like my dad. Or I wish, but he doesn't understand that he's unorthodox because he's unique, he's special, he's different, and that's the same thing about the Scorpio male, and that's what a lot of times I feel like the Scorpio man, he will go through times of being dark. I'll go through times of separation a lot of times and different. And a lot of people don't understand it because we'll disappear because he's trying to find his comfort level. He's trying to find his comfort zone, his comfort clarity, as far as his mindset, his mentality, the way he doing things. That's why a lot of times we not he's not going to be that type that can masquerade, even though you'll be like, okay, you in a relationship though, Scorpio, so you got to have a certain presence, you got to have a certain stability, you got to have a certain strength. Yeah, he does. He has all that, and we understand that you have to be that type of a man of stability, of strength, of consistency, of clarity. But at the same time, you can't pretend. We're not an individual of masquerading. We're not an individual of make believe. We're not an individual of pretending. Of just to get along. You know what I'm saying? We're not those type of individuals. If we're not in a mental space where we can be the most effective, where we can make the most impact in any situation, whether it might come off a certain way or whether it might rub the person the wrong way in certain situations, we understand that we have to be honest, we have to be real. That's why a lot of times, even if it makes a person, if we make a person feel away for a second, they understand and they love us at the end of the day because it takes a certain individual to understand us. It takes a person that's unorthodox to understand us. It takes an individual with a unique spirit. It takes a person that doesn't blend in necessarily with the crowd. It takes a mindset that doesn't necessarily get understood by your family. You might have that mindset where you might have impact on the whole world, but you might not be understood by anybody you ever grew up around. But it took time for you to find how to take flight. You got to get comfortable wearing those wings. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like being going from feeling like you were ugly duckling going to a swan stage. You got the people, might have a certain perception about you because you come off very differently, or you might talk very differently, or you might have a different way of, perceiving the world, and people will try to almost dim that light. But when you start to understand your gift and understand the uniqueness and the strength within your gift, you start to understand that everything you do and everything you experience, whether it's tragedy, whether it's getting knocked down, getting kicked down, people slamming doors in your face, you get to the point where you realize this is only a test. This is only a stage to build character. That's why you go to a Scorpio, he's nothing like you ever experienced, not because we feel like we better than everybody, because we have an ego, or anything like that, but we realize because we understand experiences make the character, and the character makes the spirit, and the spirit makes the soul of a person. So we understand your experiences, your tragedies, the stuff that you feel that's the worst things are, and the things that will break you have defined your story, has have carved you out like um like a piece of artwork out of clay or out of stone. You know what I'm saying? You had to be molded. It takes pain, takes a growing pain to be unique. It takes a special person with a special courage to be different, to have a voice to speak out. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go through those experiences. And this is where a lot of Scorpios, it takes time to get to that point of comfort. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. I see a couple of y'all in here. A couple of y'all been in here, but y'all ain't like the video yet. So let me do what I usually do. I'm gonna have to speak to y'all right quick in the chat. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I thank y'all all so much for the love and everything. I put my links in. If you can donate, please do. I appreciate the love. If you want to email me and ask me some questions, make sure you donate. and email me and all that good stuff. I put my links in, and thank you for my moderators that's already put the links in. I don't know why there's it's a strong energy with me right in the past couple of years, and the more I talk about it, and the more I really realize, the more I articulate myself, and the more I talk to it with different people. Even though as Scorpios we're known for being closed off, we're known for being keeping to ourselves. But I realize even if I talk to one or two people, you know what I'm saying, meet by me articulating my thoughts and my inner certain inner depth about my mindset and things that I want to do and things that I have planned, it gives it more clarity. It gives it more feeling. It's like it's more in tune. It's more confirmation to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's more believable when you talk to it, because it becomes a reality. It don't just it goes from a thought to a reality. You know what I'm saying? Because a thought goes into an idea, and the idea goes into a whole different thing. So I realized just by articulating certain things. That's why I realized doing this, even though it's so unorthodox for Scorpio, we do have a strong voice. We do have a when we get to that point where we're ready to talk to people, and it sometimes it takes certain people longer than others, but we realize that our voice make a difference. We understand that the strength in our words can give people empowerment. It can help people. It can show people different things. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times when the Scorpio is going through the more lower vibrational stage, we realize what words can do. Also, it can rip people down. It can cause chaos. It can cause turmoil. By doing certain things and saying certain things. You know what I'm saying? And we get to that point, we grow out of that real fast. You know what I'm saying? But some of them don't, unfortunately, and that's why I tell y'all it's all about the individual. You don't always put one Scorpio in the same bowl with the worst personality traits or the most stereotypical personality traits. I love all of y'all. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Sorry about that, Shannon. I didn't want to have your business out there. If y'all tell me something that's too close, that's too personable, are you putting certain business out there that I don't feel you should be putting out there? Certain things you shouldn't be saying. Then certain times I rarely have to do it, but certain times I will have to moderate myself sometimes, because I don't want y'all to be saying certain things that can you can put your own self out there unnecessarily. So I ain't gonna let you. I do care about my supporters, so I'm not gonna let y'all do that to yourself. Because sometimes you cannot realize what you're doing. Let me see. Wayne Jasper, what's going on? I appreciate the love, Wayne Jasper. Thank you, Sky 11 Hook, Shata, um, all my moderators, because I know a lot of y'all busy. I appreciate all the love. I know Wonders Love will usually be here. Nina will usually be here. Jay Bird would be here, but I know a lot of y'all got to work and stuff. But I appreciate all the love. Hey, Forever Evolving. Hey, I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. I love your knowledge. It has helped me immensely. I am a Taurus dealing with a Scorpio man for 2 months, and now he has me looking for houses. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, GJ. Hey, Sasha Rosa. Thank you so much for coming in. Hey, Rochelle, Ashley, good morning. Hey, Mary Seaman. Let me see. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. I appreciate all the love. Just trying to get it, see what everybody talking about. You need a space, what to do. I'm gonna start calling you GL because I know this ain't your real name. I'm gonna start calling you LLC because certain things only I can understand. You know who I'm talking about. What to do for a Scorpio man when he's stressed out. the best thing to do is always be consistent. One thing about us is we are fixed signs. So when you deal with us, you got to understand that being consistent with us is always the best. When you start, doing things out of emotion, or start doing things just because out of the feeling of the moment, you're not going to last too long with a Scorpio because you're going to be inconsistent. You're going to always be bouncing around because one thing about emotions is emotions always are can be erratic sometimes. Emotions can be unpredictable. So if you're basing your relationships off of just pure emotion and you're not really giving the thought about how it's going to affect your relationship or how it's going to affect your Scorpio man, it's going to end up in all different places. One thing about us is when we do have a fixation or we do have a like about somebody, it's going to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to waver from certain things. Even if it might be annoying or might get on your nerves or whatever, it's going to be consistent. It's not going to be inconsistent. When they get to the point where he's becoming inconsistent, that's when you have a problem. But be consistent with your emotion, whatever emotion you're doing. If it's good for your relationship and it's healthy for your relationship, be consistent with it. Let him know that you're there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to pluck his nerve, but just be consistent. Don't be distant. Pass aggressive. Uh, Needing space is well and good and is encouraged. But when someone just up and goes without saying so, that's not being considerate of the other person's feeling. That's very. I told you it's different situations though, Charlie Brown. It's definitely different situations. Because like I said, not all Scorpio are high vibrational Scorpio. But I'm talking about like I ain't talking about just up and disappearing and not saying anything. But I'm talking about up and disappearing and letting you know that he's separating for a little while. That he's still gonna keep certain communication with you. Let me see. What's Rochelle talking about? There's a fine line between ego and introvert between Scorpios. I don't know where you going, Mary. But yeah, one thing you got to understand about us is, this a lot of times this is what makes us come off certain ways. This what makes us be understood because we do have a certain way of communication. That's why a lot of people can't get certain things, understandings of us and certain appreciation of us because they're not willing to look into themselves. If you're a type of person that haven't really understood yourself, type of person that really haven't figured yourself out, I haven't really found your strength yet, I really haven't found your voice yet. Being around Scorpio will make you have all types of emotions. He will bring all types of emotions out of you because he's going to make you look at the stuff that's uncomfortable about yourself. He's going to make you look at things in reality which you're not going to look at ever with anybody else. He's going to make you look at things in in the eyes of a person that sees stuff with in-depth clarity, not just a regular clarity, but he's going to have an in-depth clarity where he's going to show you stuff that's going to make it that's going to be startling at times. He's going to show you certain things about yourself, certain things about the world around you that might be scary. He's going to bring out different things to you. He's going to make things that weren't seen to you at first. So if you're a type of person that like to hide from yourself, I like to hide from reality, or I like to duck around things. Being around Scorpio is going to bring a different feel to you. He's going to bring a different perception of life because we type of individuals, we don't care how who you are and how good you look or what position you in. We will tell you certain things about yourself that most people will be scared to say about you. We'll give you a certain in-depth honesty that most people will never be honest with you about. Even people that say they might love you or might necessarily be in tune with you, we're gonna make things clear to you. We're gonna make things, you know, we have a fearless voice. We have a fearless, blunt honesty. You know what I'm saying? But not at the honesty of being mean or making somebody cry. We have an honesty that make a person really look with in a in depth, sight that a person can never imagine. You know what I'm saying? We make a person look at the world around them differently forever. You know what I'm saying? We're not he's not gonna be that type of individual that's gonna be, we have fun and keep it light and do all that good stuff, but we not it's not gonna be like some person that's just come around just for entertainment. He's not gonna be that type of man. He's gonna be the type of man where you're gonna feel like, oh my, it's the Scorpio. You know, it's not gonna be like any other, nobody else's aura. It's gonna be completely different from anybody else's aura. It's not gonna be relatable to anybody that you had before. It's not gonna be comparable to anybody that you had before. You know, it's gonna be completely different because every individual is different. But when you talk about Scorpio, you gotta understand that our seriousness and our realness is it makes us it completely separates us from any individual that you ran into, because even with our own siblings, our people that have been around us for years, we can startle them and shake their world up with our words and with our honesty and with our reality, because most people are scared to be real with people and scared to be and to bring certain things to light to them. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter the chat room. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Y'all give me a second. I appreciate all the love. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. I really appreciate the love. I see a couple of y'all be coming in and out, but thank you for the love anyway, for my real true supporters. Hey to Sherry. I don't know, it's Sherelle. I might be saying it right, Sherelle. Hey Star Grace. What's with Scorpio man not wanting to go out on a date just in private place and spending time? Because a private place has more intimacy. We go out to dinner or something like that, but we like stuff that's more private. We will go out, on dates that's more private, a place that's more, have a certain privacy about itself, a certain place that have a certain, security about itself. We not those type of individuals that's gonna really care about that. But if we let me see, I don't know. But yeah, we'll go out, but it takes time, like this being intimate, because just like I tell y'all, we introverted, so he might like the privacy, he might like the intimacy of being alone or whatever. It's not like he don't want to go out or whatever. Let me see what sure. Hey God body, sorry I was at work when I got back to you. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shara. Would a Scorpio ever go back with a ex if it didn't end up bad? Um, I don't know. It depends on the situation, because a lot of times we rarely go back because we have such a strong. I mean, if it didn't end bad, if the situation didn't end bad, then that's different. If it's just because of circumstances and y'all just happen to go apart from each other, then that's different. But if it had dysfunction, a bunch of dysfunction, or ended up on a bad note, then I would say nah, definitely not. We don't cross those bridges. We don't go forward. 'Cause like I told you, in Scorpio, we always shed and we always changing and always different. So a lot of times we won't go back to a situation that ended wrong, because by the time we come back to the relationship, we're in a whole different mindset. We didn't shed a whole different shell, so we're a whole different individual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we already grown out the mindset. It's not like we don't forgive the person, but we have grown and we about to go on to the next stage, going to the next level. Let me see. Hey Isha baby, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate everybody coming in. Those who can come in. Let me see. Hey Jamie Smith, finally caught you live. Yay. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate the love. Thank you for coming in. This is why a lot of times you'll see the Scorpio, even if it's a young child. You know, they gonna have to wait and throw my stuff off so bad sometimes. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm all over the place. These phones, when people be calling, throw your stuff off so bad sometimes. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all into the chat. This is why you will see the Scorpio a lot of times. A lot of times we'll stay to ourselves from a young age. A lot of times during that stages where Scorpio is really quiet. A lot of times when we really introverted, we're even though we're introverted and we quiet and we might shy away from the crowd, even as a young age, stay to ourselves, whatever you call it. A lot of times we're still developing our voice. We still have strength in our voice. We still have the same courage of an extrovert. We still have the same presence of an extrovert. You know what I'm saying? We when we open our mouth, like say for instance, I didn't say that much growing up. I say that much going to school, whatever. But when I did say something, it's still gonna have the same bass. I still had the same masculinity in my voice. I still had the same charisma in my voice, but I didn't abuse my words because I knew it's strength. Just like I tell y'all, we know it's strength in our words. We know our voice is different. We know a lot of times we're misunderstood. We know a lot of times our voice is going to have impact. So a lot of times be careful on how we impact. And if we do want to make an impact, we try to make sure we do it gracefully at times, especially when we start becoming more mature and we start elevating ourselves to a high level. We start becoming very, very different. I mean, I like try different stuff, try to give y'all a better view of me, because I know at times it might seem like my head cut off. I don't try to be looking like a walking puppet. Be like, God, body, where the other half of you? I try to give y'all a good little view, because I told y'all eventually I'm gonna be moving around and just have different camera work with different camera people. Because it'll give y'all a whole different perception of me when y'all see me moving around and about doing my stuff, doing day in the life of God body. I think y'all would enjoy that. Do something like that for y'all. Do a little small little something like that. Let me see. Hey Aquarius K. Hey Michelle Longhorn. Let me see what's going on. Fine. Just started. Oh yeah, thank you again, Jamie Smith. I had to catch what you were saying. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter. I really appreciate all the love y'all been showing too. I'm gonna make sure I share this. And just like I tell y'all, if you want to send me a friend request, my channel name is God Body Channel. On Facebook, my profile name is God Body Channel on Facebook. I'll put it in there for you in the description in the chat. Because even as a young child, I used to understand. I didn't understand like what man, why I gotta spend these a certain time by myself or whatever. Because when you only child at a certain extent, man, it just build a certain uniqueness about you. You become you are a different element. You have a particular solitary time to become your own individual. You're not influenced that much by different influences by different people just because you have a certain stance, a certain strength in your voice, a difference in your voice, because it takes more time for you to mold yours in a different way, because you by yourself, you don't, it's just different. Let me see. And that's how a lot of Scorpios is. We spend a lot of time, even as children, by ourselves. We spend time that a lot of adults don't even spend by themselves as children. You know what I'm saying? We spend long periods of time. It's periods of time where I didn't have no choice, where I had to, spend time by myself. Even as a young child, I didn't have, nobody babying me or pampering me or nothing like that. Everything was learned by myself. Even if it was the hard way or the easy way, I had to learn everything. So it gave me a unique perception of the world. It gave me a real reality of the world because I didn't have that life jacket, so to say, to swim in the depths of the ocean. Because y'all know Scorpio, we water signs or whatever. So I didn't have nobody to be that life jacket for me or whatever. So it gave me a different strength. It gave me a different personality. It gave me uh, my own individual mindset of how to do things. Let me see. And I might not even have to do this one too long, but if y'all have anything to say, cause I know sometimes y'all get real quiet on me. But if y'all have anything that you want to ask me about it, I'm just giving y'all do something real. I told y'all I was gonna do something real small today. I'm not gonna make it real crazy because I know a lot of y'all want to make it to my live sometimes. So I'm not gonna do my real crazy ones today. But if y'all got anything y'all want to ask me before I get up out of here, I love y'all. I just want to give y'all a whole different understanding. Yes, this individual, when you talk about Scorpio, man, we all gonna be crazy. He is gonna seem weird. He's gonna be seen strange at first because he's not. He is. We're very different. We're not like everybody else. We don't come off like anybody else. We don't look like anybody else because we have being introverted. You have to build your own character. You have to build your own personality. Everything has to be from the from the foundation. Even our relationships are different than everybody else's. Even the people that we associate with are different. Whether people might say it's good or whether people might say it's bad. Everything about us is unique. We don't try to be different. We just are those type of individuals that's different. Even when I was younger, when you go through those adolescent stages where you try to blend in or whatever, I tried to blend in. It was so unorthodox. Even me trying to blend in was unorthodox. I was just like just the odd. I was always the odd guy. I was always so different. I'm very colorful and I'm very different. My mindset is very diverse. I never been when you're not one dimensional, when you don't think like the crowd, you can't think with the crowd because you don't have a crowd mentality. You got a leadership mentality, and that's why a lot of Scorpios, that's why a lot of times we get in trouble. He's not going to be that type of individual that like to follow the path, that's going to like to work with a bunch of people. He's going to be that type of individual that likes to be in his own space, that like to build his own business, that like to be his own boss. He's not going to be that individual that likes to be under somebody's thumb because our personalities are way too strong. It's way too unique. It's way too different from the norm to blend in with the norm. So us trying to blend in and us trying to be normal, us trying to be regular, is just not. It just don't work. You know what I'm saying? We just making ourselves. So understand when you deal with this man, he's gonna be different. He's gonna be unique. You're not gonna understand him all the time. You're not gonna get him all the time. Sometimes he's gonna seem like we're doing stuff randomly, but you gotta understand. You gotta take time to get to know him. If you type of individual that just met him in particular, he's not gonna be that type of individual that you're gonna be able to understand overnight. You have to take your time to break him down and be more in depth. You're gonna have to really build the spirits with this person. So you got to understand this individual, head on. He's not gonna be somebody that you're gonna be able to understand overnight. But let me see, do Scorpio men find it overwhelming when they have a beautiful moment with someone they care about? Can that send the Scorpio man into hermit mode? Yeah, absolutely, because it become overwhelming because we're very in depth. We take things very strongly. So if you had a very intimate moment with him, yeah, he could let me know if y'all can see me. I see my little stuff going out. Can y'all see me? Oh, I'm still here. Can y'all see me now? Yeah, sorry about that. This stuff is all crazy today, but I love y'all. Yeah, it could definitely send him to hermit mode because the feelings are overwhelming. The perception is overwhelming. Everything is overwhelming. That's why I tell y'all to make sure y'all like the video and support because I do go through a lot. Try to keep these videos going for y'all, man. I appreciate it. You froze, but I can see you. Did you hear my answer? Forever evolving. Did you hear my answer? I just want to make sure I answer your question before I wrap the video up. Just trying to make sure. Oh yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, he will retreat because the feelings become overwhelming, because the emotions become overwhelming, because we are very in depth, very intense individuals. We like to overthink at times, and at times he can overthink stuff, but he just trying to get himself together. It's not because he don't like you, because he does like you. He just trying to get himself together, try to get himself situated. But with that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the watching and tuning in. I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here. I love y'all. Big kiss. Dap to all my boys. Thank you, Troy. Thank you everybody for all the love. I will be back soon. Y'all make sure y'all donate. Show that love. Thank you so much. I was just doing a little something for y'all today. I appreciate it. Thank you.